Yes, people, hope you're all doing well. It's been a couple of days now since the final. I hope a lot of people now they've relaxed. After the game, after the final, a lot of people were down, feeling the pain. But like I said before from my previous video, that we have to be proud of this team. They've achieved so much. And I'm sure now a majority of Arsenal fans, after these couple of days, they've taken maybe steps back and reassessed the whole season and be like, you know what? The boys have done us proud, and we have to be proud as Arsenal fans because this is just a beginning, and I'm sure even more success will come. You had the interviews from Declan Rice. A lot of players will be like, "We'll be back again," and I think that's the positive mindset we need to have, always to be optimistic and not pessimistic, and. That's why I just wanted to make this video and talk about like the summer transfer. Summer transfer will be very, very important, especially with the World Cup. Like people like Josh Kroenke, Andre Barthez, Richard Garlick, Mikel Arteta, all the scouts have to be on point. Since like I'm sure maybe they've started already from now, but they have to start from now because we all know that reaching the top, it's very easy. But staying at the top, that's the most difficult job to do. That's the most difficult task. A lot of people reach the top, they win the title, and then they drop down again. Now, for us, we have to show and prove that we are there to stay. We've reached the top now. We're just not there for only 1 to 2 years. No, we're there to stay and try even dominate. And I think the thing that will help that is the transfer, outgoing. Buying players, and I think that's very, very important because how we sell, how we buy, will those players suit our not only our style of play or our philosophy, will they suit our environment? Because as you know that Mikel Arteta has built a very, very good environment, which is like there's no ego at all in the dressing room. You can feel even how Arsenal celebrate. They celebrate as a team. No one is there, okay, I'm the best player, I'm the biggest star, I'm a superstar. No, we celebrate as a team. It's all about the we, not me, no, we. And that's a very good thing that Mikel Arteta has built in this changing, to be honest. We don't need egos. You have to make sure when you buy the players fit our environment and everything, because that's the best thing. The last thing, you don't want to bring a player who's a world-class player but will come and just distract the dressing room. That's not very good, because I think we all remember Guendouzi. Guendouzi is one of the best talents, young talents I've seen for a long time, like when he joined Arsenal. But the thing with him, it was attitude. Always like ego and attitude, and now I don't even know where he's playing. He's just wasted his career, to be honest, because he was very talented and then he's wasted his career. We saw with Aubameyang, Ozil. You can see Arteta, he was trying to build something very good, something special, and we can see now with the players, all of them are on the same page, no egos, nothing, and that's why we want even to continue moving forward. Now, in terms of like when we bring a player, I had even Kroenke speaking interview overlap. He was speaking with Gary Neville in here, right? And he was saying that whenever Richard Garlick, Arsenal CEO, or Mikel Arteta, or Edu at that time, or Andre Barta, sporting director, they bring a name, this is the player that we need, and this is the amount. He always, especially if the amount is huge, like let's say 90, 100 million, he will always ask about his background first, his attitude. He'll want to sit with the player to know him more, because he said, if I'm paying 100 million, I'm not just paying for the player on the field. I want to know what else he can bring, and that's a very good thing. And he gave an example with Declan Rice. He said when Edu at that time under Arteta said we wanted to sign Declan Rice and this is the price, 105 million. Kroenke said, okay, but I want to sit with the guy first. And he said himself, after sitting with Declan Rice, the first meeting, I knew, okay, this guy's a leader. This guy, he's a very good human being, a great lad. We can get even more from him, not only as a footballer, how brilliant he is as a footballer, but we can get even more from him. And he went and paid the amount right away, and that's a very good thing. Here, when I had Kroenke saying that, I was like, okay, this is interesting. That means we just don't bring players for the sake of bringing them. We want to know the players, what they can bring to this team, because it's more about the environment, it's about the society. You don't want to come and just spoil the environment and everything. That's not good. we've had before with Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp, when he used to sign a player, he will not just sign him right away. He will go sit with the player at home, 20 minutes alone, knowing the player more, knowing his background, knowing his parents, how he acts, his friends, because this is a family. Especially Arsenal, we're talking not only a football club; it's like family. Now everyone are there for each other, and that's very very important. Now in terms of maybe, sorry, in terms of when we're talking about the signings, I think for me we need a left winger, that's for sure. I think we need an attacking midfielder, and maybe a forward. When I talk about forward, maybe who can play across the front three. And for me, I think Trossard will leave because of his age. And by the way, Trossard has been a great servant for Arsenal, to be honest. For what he has done, we had like, if he leaves, I think he will leave. He goes with our blessing. Thank you so much. He's been absolutely unbelievable. And I think what he has done for this football club is just amazing, brilliant. Thank you so much, Trossard. I think he will leave, and I think we'll need we need a world-class winger anyway. And now him leaving too, that means that's the priority. Because Martinelli, we all know Martinelli, he's a backup winger. He's very good off the bench with his pace. When the legs are tired, you come in with the dead tired legs. You go there, run into defenders, make them more tired, causing chaos and everything. And for me, Morgan Rogers is the perfect signing for us. I know he will be very expensive, but I'm sure the scouts, Andre Batam, Arteta, Kroenke will do their homeworks, because that guy, when you get Morgan Rogers, he will not only cover the left wing, he can play as a number 10 too. And he will cover both positions in a very good way, because we've seen him, we saw him already this season with Aston Villa. He played both positions. He was absolutely magnificent, by the way. And I think he's a guy who will take us even a step further, because you always have to strengthen when you're at the top. Don't stand still, because teams are strengthening. If we stand still, we'll get caught. We have to make sure we stay there as long as possible on the top. The top, staying there, making sure we go and at least dominate. I'm not saying go and win the next 4 Premier Leagues, no, but at least go and continue winning the major trophies. I think Morgan Rogers is one. And when it spoke about a forward who can play across the front three, Kropi. I know too, he may be expensive, but he's a player that he's young. I think a lot of people saw him with Bournemouth, how good he was, to be honest. And I think Arsenal and Arteta will even improve more, maybe. And I think that would be perfect. He can even maybe play as a 10, but more across the front three. And I have a feeling with Odegaard. Look, if you ask me, will you sell him? I'll be like, I don't think so. But it depends. If a team comes in with a very good amount, let's say like 60, 70 million, you know what, I can't lie, you really have to consider, because at this moment in time you have to be ruthless. For us to be there at the top for a long time, you have to be ruthless. Whether you like it or not, you have to be ruthless. For me, one of my favorite players is Ben White. I love Ben White, but unfortunately availability is the best ability. And he's been injured for a long time now. Even if he's fit, he'll not start. He's timber. And I love Ben White, but I think you have to consider, because you have to move him on. And it's sad, but I think he will be moved on to this season, Ben White and Trossard. Odegaard, I don't think so. I think Arteta loves him, but I think if a good amount comes in, you'll have to consider selling him too. Because I said from before, he's not a captain, by the way. For me, the captain has to be Declan Rice or Gabriel, but he's a player that he's a very good player, but he's not a leader. That's why a lot of people say the captain. Maybe if you remove the captain from him, you remove the burden, he'll even focus on his game more, he'll improve, I don't know. But I think in terms of selling him, if it's not for sale, if a good amount comes in, you have to consider. Now I think for me, Morgan Rogers, Kropi, those are the 2 important signings for me. If we do those signings, I think we'll even take those steps even more further. And without a shadow of a doubt, you can even continue dominating, because we need proper players. We have the squad. I don't think we need more midfielders. I think we need the left winger, a forward. And if you get Morgan Rogers, you play both.